Um, for the first time in the history of YouTube, I must apologize. I'm sorry. You see, I have been wrong. You see, I predicted that Boku no Hero Academia Season 2 would be terrible. Awful. I even went as far to say that it may just be as bad as Gakko Garashi, but I was wrong. I'm sorry. Boku no Hero Season 2 is not only the greatest improvement from a first season that I've ever seen, but it's also already better than the best anime of 2016, Occultic 9. Guys, I know some of you may not be Christians or Muslim or whatever other religion that prays, you know? But please, join me in prayer. Bow your head, close your eyes, and repeat after me. Like the city of Atlantis, my clairvoyance has become as unreliable as a rusty tool. People may be thinking, what's next? Psycho Mantis? You'd be wrong. It's April Fools, baby! Ha! Got you! Now, before I start this short video, I'd like to say that I have made a Spring 2017 prediction list for scores and gems of the season. I've been right every season since I've started predicting, aka when I came out of the womb, so I thought I'd let everyone experience the power of my omniscient clairvoyance. And any DB link is in the description to that. Now let's break apart Boku no Hero Academia. Because it has been a year, and Boku no Hero's fan base apparently is plagued with Alzheimer's, the show awakens with an approximately 5-minute long flashback of its previous season. Aside from insulting the audience's memory capacity, an episode 0 was released prior to the airing of this episode, which recapped all of the events from season 1, thus making the 5-minute flashback at the beginning of this episode superfluously repetitive as well. You're probably thinking, hey, don't you like World Trigger? That has like 3-minute recaps at the beginning of virtually every single episode. Well, that point would be valid if, 1, Boku no Hero was a 60-plus episode tactical fighting shonen with more than 3 genuinely important and interesting characters, making episodic recaps a necessity for binge watchers and comprehension's sake, and 2, if World Trigger had an entire 24-minute recap dedicated to the first season before its filler arc. But it didn't. Function return type void. After our 5-minute flashback, Boku no Hero attempts to do something. You see, there's a conference with the leaders of the academy discussing the main villain and attack on the school at the end of season 1. While the purpose of the conference is to receive information on our suspect and his next move, nothing of worth is extracted from the attempted analysis. Oh, except for one super duper important fact that not one person in the audience, except everyone in the audience, knew about. Our main villain is a one-dimensional man-child who cries when he doesn't get what he wants. Whoa, so unique. It's not like I haven't seen that in any show or villain whatsoever. In fact, there's not even a character in the show with even relatively similar motivations or characterization whatsoever.
Give me 10 days!
This is the paragon of character diversity in literature. Furthermore, the show attempts to explain why other villains unreasonably follow such an unstable person with such little caution, but fails miserably, as the only answer it's capable of providing is, they also want power, explicitly stating a conclusion that us viewers came to 9 months ago. Every villain in this show is one-dimensional garbage. While most shows just establish the existence of a 1D archetype and move on, Boku no Hero needlessly attempts to add nuance to a situation which cannot benefit from it, consequently invoking a feeling of condescension in its audience. I would just love to rip on Boku no Hero more, but the rest of the episode is pretty generic as expected from the series. A bunch of extremely forced repetitive jokes with a ton of archetypes, some lousy motivational speeches, and messy ideological lectures on what it means to be a hero, even though the show has made it obvious that it is actually impossible to be a hero without superpowers, so there you go. Overall, Boku no Hero Season 2, while not as bad as its predecessor, is still really, really bad. While the budget and in lighting improved in some places, and the character acting and opening, regardless of how generic they may seem for a tournament arc, have definitely received bumps in quality, the writing of the show has stayed as counterproductive and unoriginal as Season 1. Furthermore, the clip where Midoriya is insanely overpowered explicitly states that Midoriya will become the greatest hero ever, which will consequently result in a thesis on the theme of heroism that may very well rival the quality of your typical Family Guy episode. If you disagree, comment down below. I mean, you won't be right, but at least I can attempt to correct your unfortunately manipulated mindset. Thank you for watching, and I shall be on next week. You know, assuming this show is actually worth it.